years. Get started with Xfinity X1 and the fastest in-home Wi-Fi and lock in your rate until 2019. Or ask how to upgrade for $400 back. Call, click, or visit an Xfinity store today.
Good morning, America. Trump goes to work. The new president kicks off his first Monday in the Oval Office, signing new executive orders, drawing battle lines with the media.
They are among the most dishonest human beings on earth.
Showdown in the press briefing room today.
All right, Donald.
After Trump and his team make false claims about the size of his inauguration crowd.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period.
Plus a new lawsuit over Trump's businesses.
Wild weather outbreak. At least 30 reported tornadoes tear through the southeast, killing at least 19 people. Leveling homes, wiping out entire neighborhoods in minutes. A dangerous storm now moving up the East Coast. A nor'easter set to hammer major cities with high winds and heavy rain. As the West is slammed by a major storm, this car swept away in California. Emergency crews jumping in for swift water rescues. Now thousands bracing for mudslides and flash flooding.
And a super showdown is set.
The AFC champions are the New England Patriots.
The Patriots breaking a record, heading back to the Super Bowl for the 9th time, led by Tom Brady and his 3 touchdowns as the high-flying Falcons pummel Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
The Atlanta Falcons, NFC champions, on to Super Bowl 51.
Now aiming for their first title ever. Tom Brady and Matt Ryan set for the ultimate quarterback clash. The countdown to Super Bowl 51 starts now.
Live in Times Square, this is GMA with Robin Roberts, George Stephanopoulos, and Michael Strahan.
We can say good morning, America. Ooh, I like this matchup. This comes from a Saints fan. Those Dirty Birds, the Falcons and the Patriots. What a matchup.
And you know what? Tom Brady, obviously, making a lot of headlines with his touchdown on the field. But look at this jacket. Take a look at this jacket that he was wearing on the sideline.
What is that?
Nice. It keeps you nice and toasty and warm, George. You know, he looks like a marshmallow on the bench in that jacket. But once he takes it off and goes on the field, I tell you, he's Superman.
Yes, he is.
Believe me.
Big victory for such a young man.
Yeah. You know, in football terms, he's an old man.
No, I know that. Okay, we got a lot coming up this morning. What a weekend in Washington, D.C. Take a look at the scene there Saturday. Hundreds of thousands coming out for those marches, those protest marches. Same time, let's take a look at the White House press briefing room Saturday. That was a site of some confrontation. The president's press secretary called out for going to the room and making those false statements about the inauguration. Did not take questions then. He will for the first time today, likely to be a confrontation. And the president has a packed day ahead as well. And week, he's going to sign executive orders in the Oval this morning, meet with House Speaker Paul Ryan tonight, then heads to Philadelphia for a GOP retreat on Thursday. And British Prime Minister Theresa May is going to visit the White House on Friday. ABC's Cecilia Vega at the White House. Cecilia, no surprise. President also taking to Twitter this morning.
What a way to start the week, George. Why not start on Twitter? And that's what he just did. Donald Trump just tweeting from his account. Busy week planned with a heavy focus on jobs and national security. Now, if he makes good on his campaign promises, he will sign some executive orders that will begin to roll back some policies of President Barack Obama on everything from trade to immigration. This morning, President Trump potentially headed for a new legal battle, a liberal watchdog group planning to sue the president, alleging he is violating the Constitution by allowing his businesses, like his new hotel in Washington, D.C., to accept payments from foreign governments. Over the weekend, the president swearing in his senior staff, from Omarosa to son-in-law Jared Kushner. But the first order of business for the new administration, a fight over facts. No questions allowed during Press Secretary Sean Spicer's first White House briefing. Instead, he ripped into reporters for coverage of the inauguration crowd size.
This was the largest audience to ever witness an inauguration, period, both in person and around the globe.
Problem is, that's not true. There's no official crowd count, but there are photos. On the left, President Obama's 2009 inauguration. On the right, President Trump's. The image is taken at the exact same location, 2 minutes apart. Spicer also claimed there were more D.C. Metro riders for President Trump's inauguration than President Obama's. But transit officials say there were actually more than 200,000 fewer riders Friday than the 2013 swearing in. When pressed, counselor to the president Kellyanne Conway said Spicer offered, quote, alternative facts.
He had hundreds of thousands of people here. There's no question. I mean, I was on the platform where the president was. We saw crowds as far as the eye can see.
And now some crowd experts telling the New York Times there may have been as many as 3 times more people at the Women's March in Washington than at Trump's inauguration. It was that speech by the president himself at the CIA that launched the debate.
It went all the way back to the Washington Monument, and we caught them in a beauty, and I think they're going to pay a big price.
SNL pouncing.
If you're going to lie, don't make it so obvious. You know, say you are friends with LeBron James, not that you are LeBron James.
Now, that visit by President Trump to the CIA took place in front of the agency's memorial wall to fallen heroes. And the president spent much of his time bashing the media and rehashing his election win. That did not sit well with the former CIA director who, through an aide, said it was a despicable display of self-aggrandizement, George.
Yeah, that's right. And the feud continued yesterday. Kellyanne Conway told me she thought Brennan acted like a partisan political hack. And you're going to see a real confrontational atmosphere in that White House press briefing room today at around 1:30.
Yeah, after that, what many say was a bizarre display on Saturday by Press Secretary Sean Spicer, he'll have his very first on-camera briefing starting today, Monday, where this time he is expected to take questions, George, and you can imagine he'll get a lot of them.
No question about it. One of them likely to come from John Carlos in the White House press briefing room right now. And John, we've talked about this before. You've covered 10 presidents, dealt with 10 White House press secretaries. What we're dealing with right now in that briefing room is unlike anything we've ever seen before.
Yeah, never anything remotely like that to see, especially on the first appearance in the briefing room, a new White House press secretary come in and deliver a tongue lashing at the press, state some things that simply were not true, and then not take questions. I expect, George, we're going to see a reset here. Sean Spicer is somebody who is considered a pro, somebody who has long-time relationship with a lot of reporters here, and there's a lot to talk about. President Trump has a packed schedule today. He's meeting with business leaders, labor leaders, congressional leaders. He is signing executive orders. We're not even sure which ones yet today. There are a lot of unanswered questions, a lot of questions far beyond the size of the crowd at the inauguration.
You're right about that, John. There is a lot happening. That's why we have Martha Raddatz here as well, because 2 key cabinet nominees are up for votes today, CIA Director and Secretary of State. Will they be confirmed, and will that help settle things down if they are?
I think you'll see a confirmation of Rex Tillerson for State and Mike Pompeo for CIA. And I do think that will calm things down, especially at the CIA. That appearance by Donald Trump didn't go over well with some people. It was fine with others. I think they know he has a learning curve. He's their #1 customer. They want to please their #1 customer. And I think many were happy he appeared at the CIA. It didn't go as planned. They thought it was a little awkward. They thought they didn't like him in front of the wall talking about the media and the crowd size. But I think having a CIA director confirmed will calm things down. It has to. And one former CIA director told me, look, going forward, we'll have a reset.
Going forward.
First full week in office, first major lawsuit filed against the president. Dan Abrams here to talk about that as well. This is being filed by these ethics experts this morning. What are its chances?
This particular lawsuit, probably not great. And the reason for that is what's called standing, right? They're suing under the emoluments clause, not conflicts of interest. Right, but it's important to separate out from the conflict of interest laws that a lot of people talk about. That's not what this is about. This is about the U.S. Constitution, basically saying, in effect, if Trump is able to gain something from foreign leaders staying at his hotels or doing deals with his golf courses, etc., that's a violation of the Constitution. What they really want are his tax returns, right? That's what they're really hoping to get as part of this process. The problem is that in order to file a lawsuit, you have to be able to show I'm the right person to file it, what's called standing. I suffered as a result of this. And this organization's argument there is a tough one, but expect to see additional lawsuits throughout this administration.
Right, the reason once it goes to discovery, they want to get the tax returns, perhaps to find out if there are other sources of foreign funding into the president's businesses.
Exactly, to determine this question on the emoluments clause. And so even if this lawsuit doesn't move forward, there are going to be other ones. There'll be a hotel person who works next door to Trump's hotel or something where they will say, we do have standing. And as a result, we should be able to sue.
But Kellyanne made it clear to you that they do not want those.
Just said flat out they're not going to do it.
They're not going to do it, but this may be a way to see those tax returns. But let's go back to Saturday, John, Carl, and getting the White House's reaction to what we saw not only in this country but around the world, the massive amount of people, men and women, who came out for the Women's March. What has been the White House reaction?
Well, it's a tremendous event, and as you mentioned, a global event, and also cities all across the United States. The White House reaction, you can really see two different sides of it in, as you can imagine, two tweets from Donald Trump. First, yesterday morning, he said, "Watched protest yesterday, but was under the impression we had just had an election. Why didn't these people vote? Celebs hurt cause badly." But then, somewhat of an olive branch to the protesters a couple of hours later from Donald Trump when he tweeted, "Peaceful protests are the hallmark of our democracy. Even if I don't always agree, I recognize the right of people to express their views." Robin, I get the sense that the White House knows that they need to reach out to those that did not support Donald Trump, but you're going to see a little bit of a yin and yang on this.
You know, you're also seeing a real pattern here with the president's tweets. Two very distinct kinds of tweets. Some that seem to be a little more personal, a little more visceral, some that seem to be more strategic.
Yes, and then a little time to think about that and then come back with the second one. All right, thank you all. Let's get to Michael.
All right, thank you, Robin. Now to those dangerous storms stretching across the southeast, dozens of tornadoes, heavy rain, and hail, leaving a path of destruction. And Gio Benitez is in hard-hit Albany, Georgia, with the latest on that. Good morning, Gio.
Michael, good morning to you. Truly devastating here. I want you to show you this. This is a gas station, and that's a gas pump completely ripped out of the ground, mangled metal just hanging there. I want you to walk with me to what was the convenience store here in Albany. We can tell you that at least 4 people were killed just in this area alone. Crews are out there right now searching for survivors. Take a look. You can see the twisted metal here. The destruction in this area, simply surreal.
Dude, I think that's a tornado.
Overnight, thousands taking cover as this deadly tornado barreled through South Georgia at 70 miles per hour.
I gotta move. Yeah, get us out of here.
The storm slicing everything in its path, from trees to brick walls. Take a look at this mobile home park in Adel, Georgia, flattened to the ground. Residents say all this damage happened in a matter of minutes.
We covered each other, and we just laid there and we prayed, "Lord, please let it pass over, let it pass over."
At least 16 people killed over the weekend, more than 40 injured. Jenny Bullard injured her arm, but she says she's lucky to be alive.
The whole wall just fell in on me, and I crawled out from under it, and then our back doors came by and hit me, and it knocked me down.
This morning, search and rescue operations still underway.
It looks like a nuclear bomb went off.
Georgia's governor declaring a state of emergency in 7 counties.
We do have crews out there clearing the roadways, but the neighborhoods are damaged so severely that it's going to take a while.
The storm system also striking Mississippi over the weekend. In this drone video of Hattiesburg, you can see the path of destruction residents now have to clean up.
And back out here live in Albany, I want to go ahead and show you our other camera. That is a live look right now at a massive tractor trailer just a block from here, completely on its side. It just shows you how strong this was. And I got to tell you, I met with a resident yesterday who said his whole family survived, but he opened up his door, he looked outside, and he saw his entire neighborhood just gone.
Wow. Those images just hurt your heart. We're thinking of everybody that was in the storm's path. Thank you, Gio. There's also a major storm moving into the northeast, bringing wind, rain, and snow. Rob Marciano is on the Jersey Shore with much more on that. Good morning, Rob.
Good morning, Robin. This is the same storm that brought those tornadoes to the south and east, and here on the Jersey Shore, the winds and the waves are picking up. Low tide now, but when the tide comes in later and that brunt of the storm comes in, we're going to see some coastal flooding. There have been some man-made dunes built up down the beach. We'll see if they hold. Some New Jersey schools have been closed. Give you an idea how strong this storm is going to be. Hurricane storm force warnings, our wind warnings are just offshore to 60 miles an hour here on the beach. And I-95, New York, Long Island, eastern New England, tonight and tomorrow will feel the brunt of this storm, enough to bring down some trees and some power lines. Densely populated areas, some folks will be without power. And even though it's not cold enough for snow here, Robin, wind chills below freezing. It's going to be a nasty day.
It
Robin?
really is. All right, Rob, thank you. And we're going to get more from Ginger about that in a moment. But first, Amy has the morning's other top stories.
Yeah, and it was a terrifying scene, guys, at a mall in San Antonio as bullets started flying. The chaos started as 2 men were fleeing the mall after trying to rob a jewelry store there. A Good Samaritan tried to stop them, but was shot and killed by by one of the suspects. The second suspect also then started shooting, wounding other shoppers. Both men are in custody this morning. And breaking overnight, a big step towards ending the bloody civil war in Syria. The Syrian government and rebel groups are meeting right now. This is the first face-to-face talk since the start of the 6-year-long war. The U.S. is also at those same talks. And former President George H.W. Bush is improving this morning, could leave a Houston intensive care unit today. Barbara Bush was cleared to leave the hospital yesterday, but she decided to stay another night to be closer to her husband. And finally, sometimes you have something to say, but you just lack the words to express it. Well, it happened to a toddler, but now she's winning raves for creating this sign for Saturday's Women's March in North Carolina. The entire family was making signs when the little girl grabbed a marker and started scribbling, and her mom said, "I don't always know what she's saying, but she always speaks her mind." And the family friend who posted that picture, I love this, said, "It's exactly the sort of demonstration we need. Fresh, original, and artistic."
She was holding it up proudly.
Yeah, she feels strongly. Bold colors, holding it up. All right.
Thanks for sharing that, Amy. All right, Super Bowl. What'd you do this weekend? Yeah, I saw you down there.
Football.
Yes, you did, because it's now set. New England Patriots, Atlanta Falcons in Houston for the Super Bowl. Jesse Palmer has all the details for us. Good morning, Jess.
Morning, Robin. That's right. The Patriots not only sealed the Super Bowl trip last night, but they broke a record doing so, becoming the first organization to head there 9 times. But they are going to face some stiff competition from a Falcons quarterback who wants his first Super Bowl win. Tom Brady and Bill Belichick have done it again.
Touchdown, New England.
Heading to their 7th Super Bowl, a new record for a quarterback and a coach.
Dropping back to the 19.
Brady putting on a passing clinic against the Steelers, throwing for 384 yards, including 3 touchdowns.
Back to him they go. The flea flicker. Brady to the end zone, and it's a New England touchdown.
After the game, Brady posting this Instagram photo of himself and his wife with the caption, "That's some home field advantage, let's go." But the AFC title game not without controversy. In the hours leading up to their crushing defeat, the Steelers received an early 3 a.m. wake-up call when the fire alarm went off at their Boston hotel, a now-arrested Pats fan behind the prank. In the days leading up to the game, at least 15 Pittsburgh players came down with the flu. Illness also a factor in the NFC Championship game. Several Green Bay Packers, including quarterback Aaron Rodgers, suffering from the virus. Not a great time to face Atlanta Falcons quarterback Matt Ryan, who lived up to his Matty Ice nickname with 4 touchdown passes.
Touchdown!
It is a touchdown.
Even running the ball in for a 5th. For a 44-21 win. Cannot wait for this. All eyes going to be on Matty Ice, Matt Ryan, and Tom Brady when they face off February 5th in Houston. Now, do remember Brady, he's 4-0 in his career against the Atlanta Falcons. But if the Patriots bring home the Lombardi Trophy this year, it would be Brady's 5th time doing it, the most ever for a quarterback.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
He might just be happy he's not facing off against the New York Giants in the Super Bowl, though, because we all know what
Twitter's gonna blow up. You're gonna think I put you up to that. And, I have a lot of respect for Tom Brady, not only for his on-the-field stuff, but take a look at this. He's not the only man in the family with a big game this weekend. This is a picture of him and his wife, Giselle, cheering on their son, Benjamin, who's at his hockey game. And this was hours before he faced the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow.
So, put the family first, go out there, make sure you cheer on your son, then you come back and you send the whole family and yourself to the Super Bowl.
You have a career day like you did. That's pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Thanks, guys.
We got to go to Ginger.
Yes, because the West Coast also had that huge storm, 3 to 4 inches of rain. Look at Los Angeles, California, the flash flooding pictures. You saw the mudslide pictures over the weekend. That storm is still around for a couple more hours, but it's going to be out at least by later this afternoon and evening. All right, let's get to the Select Cities, brought to you by Sprint.
Hi, I'm Paul. I switched to Sprint because all networks are great. We're talking within a 1% difference in reliability of each other. With Sprint's unlimited plan and my amazing iPhone 7, I've got all the data I need to learn the things I want to do. ¿Dónde está el restaurante? Muy bien. 4th video today. Good thing I don't have to worry about overages. How's that for unlimited?
And now, find out how to get a free iPhone SE from Sprint.
And a very good morning, meteorologist Brian Vandegraff. A very active weather day out there. Some moderate to heavy rain, even isolated thunder, not out of the question. And those winds will be pretty intense, gusting into 45 miles per hour at times. It'll be with us through the afternoon tonight. Just a lingering light mist and drizzle. Tomorrow, we do get a little bit of an improvement, a little bit of a morning sprinkle or two, then 52. Notice by mid